Welcome to another episode of Thought OPPS. I am one of your hosts. My name is Still Biz. You see it flying across the top. We got the other person over there.
And of course, everyone, y'all know who I am. I'm the favorite host, y'all favorite, EJ Briz.
Okay. And look, we got a guest here with us today.
Yes, I'm glad to.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, you all. My name is Tia. I am the creative consultant for Fashion is a Habit and the host of Two World Podcast. Thank y'all for having me on today.
Yeah, we really appreciate you coming out on your nice little Friday night and spend some time with us so we can talk about these topics and these different things that's going on and how life works for us and how life has not worked for some of us.
Rough, huh?
Yeah, it's been kind of rough. Yes. You see that H on his hat stands for hard life. So my week, I had a nice week. I had a very nice week. I know next weekend I am definitely going to go see car show.
Oh yeah.
Mike. We got. See, what's crazy
not
is
Mike Brian Berry.
Brian Berry, not Mike.
Brian Berry's car show.
Yeah, car show. But the funny thing about it was Eric like, hurry up and buy your ticket. Hurry up and buy your ticket. You know we got to support. So I hurried up and bought my ticket, right? To get an email the next day like, hey, I'm giving you a free ticket to the show. And I knew, like these people we rub elbows with, these great people, and we gonna support. And I knew they was gonna send a ticket. But I'd rather pay for a ticket, even if he had sent me a free ticket, I'd have bought a ticket anyway. Gave it to somebody else.
There ain't nothing wrong with supporting.
Yeah, nothing wrong with supporting. And we definitely want to go see car show, and and tomorrow I'm going to discuss that book, Rest and Resistance, that I read a while back. So tomorrow I'm going to a book club meeting. So a couple of educated black folks, we're getting together to talk about that book, Rest and Resistance. Yeah, we already talked about it on the show. I don't want to talk about that book no more. How was your week?
My week, work. Had to go to the doctor with my son today, so everything checked out for now. If you haven't watched the past episodes, my son is still dealing with the effects of COVID for a lot of you people who think COVID isn't real. So he had his 1 year checkup with his cardiologist. They had, some concerns about his aorta, being inflamed. So everything checked out. It's just, as he gets older, they want to keep checking him yearly, if he want to play sports when he's a teenager. So did that, and then tomorrow I will be finally turning in my community hours for my community health worker program. I've been out in the community volunteering, so I will be turning in my community hours, getting my background check, and hopefully in a couple of months I will have my certificate through the Ohio Board of Nursing to be a certified community health worker. So
shout out to you. Congrats.
Congrats.
I mean, it's not no, diploma or anything like that, but
you ain't got to knock it. You ain't got to knock it. That's just really cute. It's like I just hate when you do that.
I know it's cool, but some people be out there like
but give yourself credit.
You can be humble, but you still got to give credit to yourself.
Yeah, it means a lot to me.
These little kids that used to get popped a lot.
It means a lot to me because it means that I get to go out more and be a help to my community. So
yeah, be a help to the community. Don't try to be a help to me. I don't want to hear nothing about you trying to structure and tell me what I need to do right. Because I've been getting a lot of that from a lot of my friends here lately. Because I done changed up my diet and everything. Dude, shout out to Will, Phil, and Anthony, but it's kind of like...
Yeah, and you was working out with me the other day, too.
Yeah, it's like everybody else... That's what all my friends work out, all my friends trainers and stuff. But I changed some stuff, and it's actually working. But it's still pissing me off because it's like I ain't want it to work because I ain't want to listen to them.
I don't give him no advice. I just tell him good work.
Yeah, but I actually asked them for the advice.
Did you ask or ask?
Ask them for the advice. Man, shut up. I asked them for the advice, and it's actually been helping. So we're gonna see
Right,
what's gonna happen.
So, Miss Tia, how was your week?
How was your week?
My week was good. It was busy. So, what's challenging for me now, and a lot of people don't know this about me, is not only am I running multiple businesses, but I also work full time. So, it's hard balancing like being an entrepreneur as well as getting up and having to go to someone's job every day.
Right.
So, I'm really trying to stay like encouraged and motivated that, and I'm gonna speak into existence that one day I'm gonna be a full time entrepreneur and just run my businesses.
Right. And sometimes the smartest way to become an entrepreneur is to understand that bills got to get paid. So you got to do
That part.
You got to do this, and then you got to actually work towards being what you said, just a full-time entrepreneur. Because some people, they be like, I'm not quit this little job,
Right.
And then it's kind of like, but you weren't able to put anything nourishing into what you're trying to do. So sometimes people get I call it getting sidetracked into your dreams, getting sidetracked into your dreams. But then there's people that do it and it worked for them.
And I think that's the big part is doing what works for you. Because I've had people tell me, they're like, oh, you just need to quit that little job. And I'm just like, I mean, maybe that worked for you. And if that worked for you, shout out to you. But
because some people that do work for you.
Right. But I just feel like my path is different.
Because it's always, we always talk about how everybody feel like they speak for everybody else.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we are actually, our topics that we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about P. Diddy. The video came out today. It was like one person sent me the video, and it was crazy because one person sent me the video. I was like, this might not be real. Then after I was going through my DM, it was like 6 other people sent me the same. I'm like, oh, this is real. That's how one said CNN, and this is a sick video. We're gonna talk about the teacher that got his hair unbraided by the students. And we're going to talk about DJ Akademiks and his essay charges that's coming up. So then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about those. But first, we're going to talk about whatever book we're reading first before we do all of that. Okay, so the book portion. Book. What book am I reading? I'm reading Richard C. Short's PhD. The foreword is by Alanis Morissette, which is kind of crazy. The book is called Healing Trauma and Restoring Wholeness with the Internal Family System Model. It's called No Bad Parts. I am halfway through this book right now. Yeah, I'm halfway through this book right now. Pretty much halfway through this book. I will say that so far this is probably the best book I'm reading this year because I'm getting a lot of self realization about yourself, and it talks about in the book. It talks about no bad parts, meaning that every part of who you are actually adds to the whole of who you are. And this is the most interesting part the most interesting thing about this book is how you try to make yourself talk to yourself, because of certain parts of yourself that actually came about when you were younger. So you know how like sometimes you'll look at yourself and you be like, it'd be something that happened that triggers something, and you get angry. You get really, but what it does, it turns you back into that child that had happened to. So that part of you never grew up, and that's why a lot of the Richard Schwartz. This is a lot of the teachers from this book is what he was teaching the people that he were some of his clients that allowed them to like help their deal with the trauma that they were dealing with when they were children, and just introducing yourself to their self, just so they could know that these are, because sometimes we think that our traumas are to be, we have things that like protectors, things that cover up those traumas. We never talk about those traumas, and we never let those traumas feel like they are a part of our existence. So we look at them as bad, and what it does is it makes you not deal with them.
Right, because we suppress it.
We suppress it, so you never dealt with it, so it turned you into a beast. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because you never dealt with your trauma. Because if you look at something that's bad, you wanna actually not address it. So it's a lot in this book that, man, I'm telling you, I'm getting like a therapy. I'm getting a therapy lesson. Right. I'm hungry. I'm getting a therapy lesson just from reading this book, and it's activities in this book where they want you to write stuff down and go.
Do you participate in that?
No, I actually but I do it in my mind though.
Ain't it the full? You got to partake in the full.
No, because it was like only one activity so far where they wanted you to write something down, but it was like I could do this in my mind because it wanted you to write down every part of you. Like different trauma that you have. Like let's say you got beat when you were a child. Write down that person. Write down just write down these different sides of you because they want you to introduce all these traumas to you, and because they call that self.
I'll be writing a book.
Yeah, so they want
You and me both.
yeah, so they call that portion self. So you want you want to introduce that portion to you, and then you want because that's what's gonna like. I'm halfway through, so I'm not completely healed yet.
Got a couple more pages.
got a couple more pages. I'll be done. I think I'll be done by like 2. No, I'll be done by like Wednesday. Cause I don't read on the weekends, so I'll be done by like Wednesday. So great book. And then I also ordered because Nina Turner, Senator Nina Turner, told me to order From Here to Equality Restoration.
That's another book she told you to get?
Yeah, she told me. I just ordered it.
Hey, what's up, Nina?
Hey, Nina. She told me to order this book this week, so I ordered it already. And she like, keep up with your reading. She was like, one day we're gonna read a book together. Where she gonna read the book, but this book right here, she told me to pick this book up. So I think that's my 3rd book that she's recommended. So 2nd or 3rd.
Speaking of Nina, I'm just gonna segue into this. Make sure you vote.
Yeah.
This is the year with voting and everything. Pay attention to what policies is going. Just pay attention to what's happening. There's a lot of stuff that's happening that I don't think a lot of people paid attention to, but pay attention to what's going on. So please do exercise your right to vote.
Absolutely.
And that's the only thing. And quit voting because celebrities. Quit voting on because certain issues that affect celebrities don't really affect you.
You think what they do is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So because you want to make sure, and the important part of voting is voting for things that voting for these local votes, these local things, because sometimes these local voting these local vote. What's the word I'm looking for?
You read a lot, don't you?
I do read. That's not like jealousy. But sometimes
policies.
Yeah, when you vote locally, it affects you more directly.
Yeah,
opposed to like when you vote for like
voting for judges
and things like that, because that affects you directly. So make sure y'all vote. If you can vote. And I hate when I hear people say, I don't vote because it don't mean nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But half the people that say I don't vote because it don't mean nothing can't vote no way.
I mean, when people say that, it bothers me, but I don't pay. It only bothers me when they try to make it seem like I'm wrong for voting. So, I mean, if you don't want to vote, that's fine, which, I don't agree with, but don't, talk about me because I vote. So.
True story, real quick, and we're going to let y'all talk about y'all books, but true story real quick, and Eric knows this is the truth. It's a lot of people like, I don't care if you don't read, but there are people and on the internet before that encourages me not to read. It's always mainly black men that always tell me, other black men, like, why you be reading? Like, what would you be, what I'm saying? That stuff, like, they say it's like, that stuff ain't real, but it's like, what you be looking on the internet all day? Is that real?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you can be able to make a differentiate. You can be able to differentiate between what's real and what's fake. And when you get, what I'm saying, sometimes I read stuff and I be like, this stuff don't even make no sense.
Right.
But I read it and I understand that that's the thought of somebody else or something that somebody wanted to teach us.
Or they read whatever's popular, but they deem
trendy
gangster like the 48 laws of power.
Okay, right. And they be like, don't read, but let somebody that's in prison come out with a book.
Right.
That's the first thing they're gonna do is go grab and lie and say they read it, or some of them read it, which is like not many of them, but some of them lie and say, "Oh, I read it. Did you read took you shoot 'em up book though?" Like, dude, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, like the 48 Laws of Power. I read that book. That's just like a whole book of gaslighting.
Right, the 48 Laws of Power is pretty much like teaches you how to be a bad person, or it can teach you how to recognize bad people. Yeah. But a lot of the people that read it, they trying to learn how to be worse. And it's kind of like the 48 Laws of Power is. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about your book.
You want me to go first, or you? No, ladies first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a gentleman.
All right. So currently, I'm reading Our Faithful God devotional. Mm-hmm. So for me, I'm just really big on like my spirituality and mental health and just having like a peaceful mindset and being positive and just filling my mind with encouraging things. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually have a degree in counseling. And so when you were talking about like your book and mental health, it really resonated with me because I do read like a lot of mental health books, and I do take heed to a lot of times we are triggered by things and we don't even know it.
Right.
We just like we realize it when we start or other people point out some of the behaviors that we're showcasing. So I definitely resonated with you on that. But yeah, I read my daily devotional and just really stay encouraged about different things that I'm doing, because it's all about like what you put into your mind. So like y'all were saying, like a lot of like the negativity and things that people essentially gravitate toward because it's popular, like you have to filter that out.
Right. That's funny because you said you're very much interested in human psychology, right? And I am too. I read a lot of human psychology books, and you like Tubi. So that's y'all in common. So me and you as human psychology, your in common with him is Tubi.
I've probably seen every movie on Tubi.
he know Tubi from like from the rooter to the tutor.
Names, everything.
Oh, you serious?
Yeah. I know he on Tubi. I know I'm on Tubi.
Yeah.
Well, because I talked to him. I'm trying to get in a Tubi movie.
Yeah,
he said you're gonna make it happen.
You're gonna make it happen. Yeah.
I mean, we shoot the movies.
Yeah, we shoot the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, we shoot the movie. Resentment.
Yeah, Resentment.
Yeah. So, and she probably know all the people that's in it.
All right, I got a question for you. Have you seen Secret Society?
Yes.
Yeah, that's my movie. 1 and 2.
1 and 2.
Okay.
You see, I'm over here confused.
No, I was like, I thought you was about to say it was a part 3. I'm like, it was a part 3.
No, I'm waiting on part 3.
Okay, yeah, I'll see Secret Society part 1 and 2.
Did y'all see?
This Tubi talk, man.
Did y'all see?
Right.
Did y'all see X-Men?
Well, that Secret Society, it's kind of X-Men.
Right.
You know what? I'm really upset because I watched the Book of Clarence this week, and I thought it could have been good, and it was good when I was watching it, but I'm old, so I fell asleep.
That's the crazy thing about me. I don't even watch mainstream movies no more.
He don't watch mainstream movies.
I just be on my Tubi.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I definitely watch mainstream movies. Definitely watch mainstream movies because that's how I'm stealing some of that ideas so I can bring to our Tubi movies. Go ahead, what you reading?
What's up, people? This is my book portion.
Why do you guess? You know what?
Because I haven't been reading all year.
Yeah,
man.
that's what I'm saying. But it makes you look real illiterate when you get so excited about reading like it's something you just learned how to do last week.
You already know I don't even care about what people think.
Exactly.
So, I promised y'all probably about 2 months ago I was going to read like 2 months ago, and I kind of reneged on my promise. I apologize to people. But look, got a book. And the book I have is called The Dead Don't Need Reminding by Julian Randall. He would like that J to be pronounced like Julian Randall. And he's part Dominican, part black. Okay. I got this. This is a new release, so I went to my public library. Support the public library. It's a new release, but I got it because I like the title.
But you could support the author better by purchasing their book on Amazon. But go ahead. Yeah, but when I go,
but then when I go to the library, I see what's going on in the community as well. With it's summertime. Kids.
You say
reading contest. You
pronounce community like Jamaican people.
It's summertime. There's volunteer opportunities for teenagers out there. So I look at the message board at the library to see what's going on in the community.
You can pronounce it like my parents. They overpronounce community. You like community. You're Jamaican. And
I'm honorary Jamaican.
Right, because that's how Jamaicans pronounce community. It's community.
See, man, I can't even talk.
Because Jamaican people overpronounce. There's a lot of words. I got to think of the words. They overpronounce a lot of words.
Okay, but anyways. So, I'm only on page 30. I got this book yesterday, so I started reading last night. But this book is about this.
Let me open the book real quick. You on page 30? These words would be they short. Okay.
Yeah. So the book is about this young man, Julian Randall, and he is dealing with depression. He's an artist. He's a poet, And the book was it's kind of a, I don't want to say difficult read because it's like, it's written poetic and like colloquial. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's not the average, you know, you just sit there and read a book. It's kind of, you know, it's kind of like poetic. You know what I'm saying? So you have to get used to
like
it.
alliterations and stuff.
Yeah. So you have to get used to it. But he grew up in Chicago. Just like the second chapter is called. I kind of like the
Definitely wouldn't want to read that.
The chapter title too. Like the second chapter. Like the second chapter.
Because I've read books like that and they're just annoying. But go ahead. Go ahead.
So the second chapter is hashtag Julian for Spider-Man, and it talks about how like he resonates with Spider-Man Back to the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales because he's half black and half Dominican, and he was saying that, you know, how he was depressed growing up because he always had to explain what's his nationality because people were always like, well, what are you? And he was like, well, I'm half black, you know, I'm half Dominican, and he didn't find out about Latino, you know, like, but they Afro-Latino. And he didn't find out about that till college, but he was talking about how he would be with, you know, his Dominican friends or Dominican people, and they would just pass him off as their black friend. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't, you know, claim him as being Dominican because he speaks Spanish, but he's not fluent in Spanish or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's basically about him, you know, finding himself and finding his family and his family roots. He's bisexual. So he's got called to Mississippi to speak at their first, it was a bookstore or whatever. It was a bookstore for LGBTQ. And he's trying to find out his roots. He finds out his grandfather was, you know, could pass as white in Mississippi, had a successful business until they found out he was black. Mm-hmm. So it's just talking about, you know, him, you know, dealing with his life, depression, you know, and just trying to find his family roots.
The authors be doing that sometimes. Like Percival Everett does, like when you read, like I read The Trees, and I read Erasure, like two of his books, and like they'll start writing one way, and then go to like, you're like, am I reading the same book? Like I'm reading the same. Then you be like, oh, okay, I see what he's doing. He's telling the story differently, or it's something else, or so, the story's being And who else? It's a lot of authors.
Yeah, because it's like some person that real, it's like
it's a lot.
I don't want to say over.
I'm saying Percival Everett would like do something like where it just jumps into a whole different scene, a different way of writing. Like when he was writing The Trees, and he had this one part where he was saying the N-word like everywhere, but he was doing a Trump speech, and he was mocking like a Trump speech, and then in Erasure he did that a lot too, where he had, but then it was like, oh, he's describing what's going on in an interview with somebody else or like a movie. Yeah, it's a lot of authors do that because I guess that's the beauty of writing too.
Yeah, so I mean, I just, you know, I was kind of like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to read all this, but then I was like, man, once I started reading, you know, reading like what he was going through, I just want to kind of see what was gonna happen in the end. So
yeah, reading. I mean, that's the thing about reading. Like, once you start reading a lot of books, you start reading that there's a lot of different styles of writing. And I read thousands and thousands of books, so it's just like, dang. Like, I've read a lot of information on how, you know, authors write.
Yeah, so I got my first book of the year, y'all. What's his May?
That's okay though. That's okay.
I'm only on book number 7. So.
Only. Only, okay.
Cat Williams on book number 1,000.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
But I read an 814 page book this year. It was very long.
Yeah.
It's not tough for Cat Williams. I don't know about
mad. Yeah. So now it's time to get up on your business.
Yeah, we're about to ask you all types of questions.
So, old girl told me. I'm just gonna.
I heard.
Yeah. So creative counseling, right? Mm-hmm. The thing that you do. That's what you do. You're a creative counselor. Speak more about that. I want to know a little bit more about your creative counseling.
Sure. So the tagline for Fashion is a Habit is creating celebrity looks for less. I found that when I was talking to people, a lot of people had the mindset that like you have to spend a lot of money in order to be fashionable, or like because they're not a celebrity. Right, exactly.
Why are you looking at me? Like, I don't spend a lot of money. I buy that stuff on sale. I don't care if it's from Saks.
I am the queen of Amazon. Oh, you at Saks?
You know,
We on two, right? We on two different levels.
You can still get good Saks sale.
We on two different levels.
You can still,
I'm glad you said that. Yeah, go ahead.
you can still get a good Saks sale.
But yeah, but no, to your point, and that's the whole point of my business, to let people know that whatever your lane is cool. If you shopping at Amazon, that's cool. I can help you with that. If you want to go on over to Saks, even though I don't shop at Saks, but shout out to everybody that does, I can help you with that as well. And just helping you realize what your fashion style is, because like we were talking about earlier, I think a lot of people are into trends and like following what's popular, and that's cool. But it's like, if that's not your style, like, just be you.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So with your creative consulting, how did you transition that into podcasting?
Sure. So I think for me, it was just about like spreading the word. And like I talked about earlier, I'm a really positive person. So providing that encouragement to people, because we live in a world, and speaking for women, where a lot of times they tell us like we aren't pretty enough, we aren't smart enough, we don't dress sexy enough, we dress too sexy. And so I really wanted to get my voice out there and create a safe space for people on my platform.
So has this helped you with networking and learning how to talk to people and learning how to actually build relationships with people? Like, because I know that you talk about mental health too. Like, does it help you as far as your mental, like how you go through, is there like a grasp of life the way you do these things?
Absolutely, because when I'm encouraging other people, I'm encouraging myself.
Right.
So I think like it's so powerful when people watch my podcast and they see like, oh wow, she's going through things. Everybody's going through things, because again, a lot of times we see the lens on social media where everybody doing good, everybody's stunting and all of that, and that's fine. But we're real people and we go through real things. So when I'm speaking life into other people, I'm speaking to myself as well.
Yeah. And you know what's it's so crazy, because I know some people, they can have everything in the world. They got the cars, and they still are some of the most unhappiest people that you run into. It's like all the materialistic stuff just means nothing to them.
Yeah, it because mental health is real, and money only give you this much happiness, and then it levels off.
Right.
So it's kind of like if you read more, you would learn that, because I read a lot of books like about like mental health and human psyche. I read a lot of human psyche books, and it talks about like leveling off as far as like having money and how you can be. There's a lot of people that's been rich that kill themselves.
Right? Yeah.
Or that was supposed to say that on YouTube, but it's past 15 minutes, so they have unalived themselves. Yeah.
So you talk about being a positive force and having something positive. So we are not always positive all the time. So how do you? I know there's times where you're negative, or you feel negative, or you deal with negative energy. How do you fight through that?
Sure. I think the biggest thing for me is not to stay in that space, because like you said, like we're all human. So I can't sit here and tell y'all I just be happy 1,000% of the time, because that's not true for any of us. I think that like if I'm having a bad day, or like just a situation, somebody hit me with some BS on my phone, I'm just kind of like, all right, I sit with it for a minute, and then like I process it. Sometimes if I need to call someone or text somebody, I try to surround myself with people that can pour into me like I pour into them, and then like I let it go. I used to be really, really bad about holding on to things. So something would happen on Monday, and a month later I still call like, listen. We gonna talk.
I still got grudges from 10 years ago.
I mean, but it's real, you know. It's real.
Sometimes, here's him. But sometimes I've learned not to. But sometimes I feel like I forgive too fast. That's a bad habit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like forgive people. They'll be like, oh, they're not gonna do it again. It's like that was 2 days ago. So it's kind of like sometimes forgiveness too can be a bad habit.
Right.
Especially too fast.
Yeah. So, and what is your show totally about? Your podcast, like?
Sure. So my show is based around mental health as a whole. So the fashion piece comes into play where I feel like, yes, it's important to, you know, work on the outside, but you got to work on the inside as well. So we talk about like just different aspects of mental health.
Like, you want happy? Put on a cute outfit.
I always feel better when I put on a cute outfit.
Yeah, and sometimes how you feel on the outside makes you feel better on the inside.
You put on a cute outfit, you gonna have
I see you gonna repeat cute outfit. This man gonna sit here and repeat cute outfit. My outfits do never ever be cute. They'll be very masculine and trendy.
So for me, it's getting my hair done. I could be having a bad day.
For us,
right.
Our hair is done. It's finished.
Our hair
actually,
is dead.
Our hair is finished.
It's dead.
Unalived.
Oh, hilarious.
So here is a big thing for you. It's not a big thing for me.
It's a big thing.
Very
I'm
small.
telling you, I could be having the worst day. I go sit in that chair, get my hair laid. I step out of that chair. I'm a new person.
I was just on the phone with a hairdresser, and she was talking about how hair is just so happy. Like she get happy like doing hair, and how hair means so much to her, and how she feels so proud because she have had people that just came in bald headed, now their hair grown because she helped them, and each time how they have to take care of their self. Because how you take care of yourself. I guess I'm very unhappy because my hair won't grow for nothing.
It's easy maintenance. So you said like, you know, getting your hair done is, you know, you look forward to that. So what other ways do you unwind? Because just like you said, you work full time, you run businesses.
You just want to talk about Tubi.
What else do you do to unwind? Let the people know what you do to unwind. Just to relax.
Tubi again.
You know, push the world away. You know, let us know.
I think for me, it's really, and I had to learn this, important to like disconnect. Sometimes I have to step away from social media and all that because I can fall into like the scrolling, and I just have to disconnect from that. Along with that, I like to work out. So I go to I be trying to do a little.
We work out a lot. You need to join X Compound.
I've been seeing the videos on TikTok.
I was in one of them videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm an X Compound star too. Shout out to Phil because he was one recording the video. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Shay Shay in the video. You'll see me in the background, me and DeAndre in the background, like when they push Shay Shay through the door. You ever seen the video where they push the girl through the door?
Yeah.
I was the one in the background of that video.
I didn't even peep that.
Yeah, go peep it again. Yeah, Phil, you should put me in the credits. But he actually did the show. Phil. The guy that owns the X Compound.
Yeah, we actually went there and did the show.
Yeah, we actually went there and did the show. So the guy that owns the X Compound, we grew up together. It's like one of my friends, earliest childhood friends. And then
and he got mad because he liked me too.
Yeah. But both of y'all horrible people. And that's what I was talking about. I said my three friends because he was one of the Phil. Will and Anthony like gave me advice.
Okay.
And I ain't want none of it to work.
Nothing to do with it.
No, I want none of it to work because they know a lot more than I know, and come to find out they helped me a little bit. Can't stand y'all.
So you said you would work out. What else?
Yeah, listening to music.
What kind of music?
Yeah, let me hear this. Better not be no hot girl music.
Now I gotta be honest with you. I got several different playlists. I got the hot girl music where I got Glorilla, I got Sexy Red.
You don't like none of them.
I got Megan Stallion.
You wanna know what I did with that Hood Rat song? Okay, so the Hood Rat song, right? I know it was out. It was out years ago, right? I was like, I would never listen to this song. The song, it was out last year. I was like, it was 22 and 23. I was like, I never listened to this song. This is trash music. I don't know how. I think it came out like on one of them playlists. It was on the playlist on my phone. So I was at the gym and the song came on. That beat wrong.
See, that's what I'm trying to.
So I sent it to one of my friend brothers. He's like, man, don't ever send me this trash again. He was like, I was playing. He's like, my wife was like, what is that? He said we both was bobbing our heads a little bit. That song is actually funny. That's the funniest song I have ever heard. Like,
see?
Yeah, but it's terrible that they make that music. That's horrible.
So that's my one playlist. Then I got like my jazz, my 90s R&B where I'm just vibing out.
That's more me.
That's more your style.
90s R&B.
Yeah, I'm a lot of reggae. I know you don't do reggae, do you?
I do a little reggae.
Okay, that sounds like you do a little. That sounds like she do reggaeton or she do Afro beats. That's not really reggae, but people.
Hey, you don't have to lie to him because you're on the show. Just tell him you don't
The
listen.
way she said it was like I do a little bit. That's Afro beats. Wizkid is not reggae.
That's what I was thinking. Wizkid. That's not it.
That's Afro beats.
Okay.
Sorry. That's Nigeria is over here. Jamaica is right here. Well, go ahead.
And then I got my gospel playlist, you know. So I watch Tubi. I go for walks, and I think, like I said, the biggest thing for me is disconnecting because, you know, with running multiple businesses and, you know, working full time, my phone is going off all the time, notifications everywhere, and sometimes I can just get so lost in it that I just got to step back and do the things that I like to do.
Yeah, I know because like we do the podcast now. We about to work on this movie. Like I have a clothing line and I have to design stuff and everything. And it's just like I be pushing my clothing line. I don't feel like designing nothing, not doing anything.
Since he knows me, he's finally starting to get text messages and notifications on his phone. But go ahead.
And that's a bad thing because I had a peaceful life, but
yeah.
I ain't gonna get it.
He did tell me the other day that I got him knowing a whole bunch of people.
Man,
I ain't gonna say what type of people, but
we just
people, right? We just gonna.
He like. So this is what you've been dealing with, y'all. Yeah. People are very interesting, but you have met some really great people though too.
Yeah.
Tell the truth, you met some really great people. Like people are very interesting.
Yeah, people like to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I said that because you was on the show, right?
Right, I know.
No, the funny thing is, he usually don't mind the women.
It's already two guys on here.
Yeah,
you have enough testosterone on here.
But sometimes he be like, these dudes corny. That's what No, I'm not talking about dudes that done the show. I'm talking about like in life, like people come across. Like dudes be like trying to do too much.
Yeah.
Because they're like, I want to be. I'm this type of man. It's like, dude,
Just doing too much.
I'm a RN.
Yeah, it's like, dude, your mama raised you, boy. Calm down, trying to be Mr. Alpha Male. I'm an alpha male. Like,
next
did you play an alpha? So what's next for Tia? What's going on next for Tia?
Sure. So I actually have an episode coming up on my podcast, Two Real Podcast. It's gonna be the women's panel, and we're gonna get into like just different aspects of.
Is other women gonna be on there?
Yeah, it's gonna be 5 of us on the panel, so we're gonna be talking about
y'all. Do I know any of them?
You don't know any of them?
Okay, I was wondering if White Girl was gonna be on there.
Oh, White Tea Girl?
White Tea Girl. Mm-hmm. She gonna be on there?
Yeah, she gonna be on there.
I know her.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, she gonna be on there.
That's my homie.
Okay. Yeah, she gonna be on there.
Yeah, we actually worked together on. She's on Tubi.
She on Tubi.
She on the lick. Yeah. That I directed her before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to her.
She been in my house before. Like I
didn't know she was on. I'm gonna have to talk to her.
Yeah, like we really cool. She made a comment under the picture.
Oh yeah, but I didn't connect it, y'all.
Yeah.
I mean, if you know somebody, you know everybody.
Right, I forgot.
No,
you know everybody.
They all know me. They all know me. That's what I'm joking. But yeah, so what? Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got episode Monday at 8, streaming from our IG channel, Two Real Podcast, and we just gonna have like just grown folk conversation. We're gonna be talking about y'all as men,
Hold on, come on.
She said grown folk conversation.
You gotta go a little bit more depth.
How y'all be acting?
Oh, I could. Well,
How do y'all act? She said y'all.
give us some examples.
She said y'all is mean.
Give the people an example so they can tune in.
I mean, y'all just be doing a lot, like, and you admit it. Like, y'all be doing the most. Remember, y'all just said y'all be doing the most.
You're right, but it's not everybody.
It's not.
And sometimes
it's not.
And sometimes we generalize our each other, but it's like there's a difference between men and women, and we have different parts. We have different ways we deal with life, and we have different
think differently.
And we think differently. Our emotions are different, and sometimes we don't really think about that, and we feel like, dang, you should be like this because this is how I think. And then sometimes it's bad behavior, sometimes it's childhood trauma, sometimes the trauma is y'all have trauma too, we have trauma. I just feel like a lot of times in life, everything is different. You know what I'm saying? Men and women are different, black people, white people are different, and sometimes with differences, we find...
Yeah. And if you watch all the past 50 some episodes, everybody knows I am an advocate for women, especially black women.
Yeah, he is.
But some of y'all are some doozies. Ooh, I got some stories. I'll be like, whoo.
But like he said, it's not everybody.
No.
So.
Okay.
But yeah, we just gonna get into it on Monday. So I hope to see y'all in the comment section.
Yeah, we gonna.
Yeah, Monday at 8.
Yeah. Okay,
So you know, like I'm pulling the video so you can watch the video for the next portion of the show because you need to watch it before we talk about the whole Puffy thing.
Okay.
So is there any shout outs you would like to give out to anybody? Any recognition, thanks, anything of that nature?
I just want to shout out to like all of my friends and family for supporting me. Again, you know, being an entrepreneur and running multiple businesses is challenging. So I appreciate everyone that like has supported me in any way, whether it's watching my videos, liking my posts, calling me with a positive word. I just really appreciate it.
And that's big.
Yeah,
and we appreciate you because we appreciate you coming on the show, and I'm like the fact that you went out and did everyone, and you know, want to shout out everybody that have actually helped you, and everybody that you probably helped too. Yeah. But sometimes we don't recognize what we help. Did you have something to say? Your face looks silly.
I had something to say, but I forgot. You know, my brain isn't as big as yours.
It wasn't that important. It wasn't that important. Okay, so she just got a chance to look at it too. So we watched. Unfortunately, I watched it earlier too, and I had one person send it to me, and shout out to Terrence Moore. I used to do a radio show with him and did a podcast together. Shout out to you, Terrence. But he sent me the video, and I thought it was like fake. Like I thought it was like somebody just because it was somebody speaking before the video, and then I was like, maybe this is not real. And then right when I said it's not real, then five or six other people sent it to me, and then somebody sent it to CNN, and it was like a video of Love. That's so coincidental. That's his name he going by. Sean Puffy Combs beating the living crap out of Cassie and essaying her in the hallway. No, not essaying her. He wasn't essaying her. He was punching her. Came out in his robe, and he was just going to work. And after you assault this person with your fist to their face, then you decide that you want to kick them, and then if that's not bad enough, because this person, how tall is she? She's like real little, tiny like you. Mm-hmm. That's like me. You know what I'm saying? And then just start pulling her by her hair across the floor, back to the room. And I read a comment when somebody said, I hope it's a troll. Somebody said, maybe she was trying to steal something out of the room. It doesn't matter. Call the police.
Right.
If she's trying to steal something, you know, like it's a lot. It's a lot to watch. Y'all go ahead.
So like you were saying, I had heard about it earlier, but I didn't have a chance to watch it until now. And like seeing that video, like it was just so disturbing to watch. And I know we have been like over the years hearing like a lot of like things about, you know, P. Diddy and what he was doing, but now to see like all of this coming out now and just it's just gruesome.
And then when you see dudes like Stevie J, who's a predator, then you see No Neck Benzino, and it's always these dudes that. Never mind, I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say it's always these dudes that really don't respect women anyway, but they have sex with a lot of women, but they really
right, but they don't really respect.
They hate women,
right? Yeah,
women. That's why they always with women that have penises. So it's just always so it's kind of like they have this idea that they have this idea that he should be forgiven, but he never put himself in the way of forgiveness. Mm-hmm. And because there are people that do things like that, and then they put themselves in the way of forgiveness, right? I think that like it's a crime is a crime, it's a crime. Right. You know what I'm saying? But when you put yourself in the way of forgiveness, and you have a conversation with yourself, God, and the person you've hurt, that's different. But this dude just trying to like cover stuff up. It was sad and horrible to watch. Go ahead, Eric. You had something to say.
Since we have a lady on the show, I don't really cuss on the show, but I'm kind of stop myself from cussing. Just watching, I wasn't gonna watch the video, but since Terrence is gonna talk about it on the show, I was like, because I don't like, I've been on like I have enough drama in my life, so like even with this record, Kendrick and Diddy, I mean not Diddy, but Drake or whatever, I haven't even listened to one song. It's just like I'm not in that frame of mind. But when I watched the video, I'm telling you, like even right now, I'm just like I'm still pissed off about it because it's like this, it's totally disgusting. And I'm somewhat biased against it because I've never liked Diddy. I've always been a fan of Tupac, and Diddy always rubbed me as this person that he seems like a snake. He's sneaky. He always trying to make it seem like I'm not doing anything and we all positive or whatever. Right. But he it's just something about his personality like that. And a lot of times in the black community, we worship money. Mm-hmm. We worship fame, and we make excuses for people with money and fame. And it's because I just look at this video and like this dude has 2 daughters. Mm-hmm. I mean, how would he like if somebody did that to his daughters? Right. Yeah, and then you see his sons. His sons have allegations against them. They follow in the same footsteps, so they're used to seeing this. Mm-hmm. This isn't something that his sons just like randomly. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So this is a pattern, and it's just crazy like how this happened in 2016, and it is just now. How many years was that? Was that 8 years? Yeah, it's been like 8 years. Like it takes 8 years, and it's like the people that's around. That's what it's like. I feel like he could do this type of stuff as long with people like R. Kelly or whatever, because they have this God complex. It's these people around. It reminds me of that scene in New Jack City where Nino Brown is sitting at the table and everybody and the old man come in there like. You got all these people sitting around you like you God Almighty. Mm-hmm. And it's just like you have all these enablers. Mm-hmm. You have all these people that's willing to do what you say because they have no morals themselves because they worship money. And it's just like it's totally disgusting. Like with me, out in the community I deal with I've been parts of, domestic violence, hearing people speak about domestic violence. Even when I was in my community health workers class, it was like me and another guy, and it was like over 20-something females in there. And I remember one day we was on the subject of domestic violence because they show you how to deal with, certain situations, domestic violence. And it's like almost every woman that was in that class has dealt with some type of physical violence.
Were they black?
Black and Latino.
Yeah.
Well, and it's just let me finish. So it was just like, and that class was so drained. I swear, I was so drained from that class because it's like me. I'm 43, about to be 44 years old. I have never once put my hands on a woman. Never raised my hand to a woman. never called a woman out of her name, no B words, none of that. Never disrespected a woman, and I just don't understand. I guess it's not for me to understand because I'm not wired like that. You know, a lot of times we beat ourselves up and we look at situations like, well, how can this person do this? Like, I can't understand. And it's sometimes you're not meant to understand that because you're not wired like that. So you're not going to understand it. So I think that we as a community need to do a better job of holding people accountable instead of enabling them. So,
but wouldn't you say too, to go even further into the whole thing, that, and I know this gonna make a lot of black people mad, but we live our lives off of trauma, right? And off of being slaves, off of oppression, and a lot of times, because if you do the math and do the numbers and look it up, a lot of times, like when you look at with black people, we beat our kids, right? He bad, about to whoop his butt, beat our kids. We somebody piss you off, about to go fight them, why would that be separate from intimate relationships? Because a lot of times when you look at the numbers, it was like 40% of black women, and then it's like white women is like 15.7% with these domestic violence cases, and then I think I say Dominican, Latin women is like 27%. A lot of times, like, and then sometimes we don't want to look at these numbers, like, I ain't gonna be telling you anything, you know what I'm saying, but we don't want to look at these numbers. But when you look at these numbers, it makes you better, because when it goes back to it, it's not that you're a bad person. Just like this book, there's no bad parts. You just have to recognize what turned you into this person that caused this violent behavior inside you. Go ahead.
And not only, I mean, honestly, I don't even want to talk about any other nationalities or races or whatever, because it's like we need to help build up our community, and we can't always do like, well, you know, white people do it. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help my community be better. Nothing against other communities, but nothing like that.
But the thing about it is, human psychology is human psychology, and I think that a lot of these books that we read, and a lot of these behaviors are from other communities. That what's working for this community, just like even with money, you know what I'm saying, what's working for this community that's making them able, because sometimes you say you don't want to deal with other communities, you don't want to talk about other communities, but when there's things that's working for other communities, you want to be nosy and find out what's working for other communities. And the thing about it is, I don't mean to talk about, because the thing about it, white systematic racism is what created all of these negative things. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like the oppression is what created a lot of these things. And they don't have to deal with some of these things. You know what I'm saying? So because they have that whiteness, and they have that already could be, you know, on top, because they don't have to go through things that black people have to go through. So sometimes you have to pay attention. But go ahead.
Yeah, but it's always cool. I mean, for people that defend this type of stuff, or try to make it seem like, or make excuses, whatever, it's always cool to happen to someone in your family.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Them comments I stopped reading right away, because I was thinking, I told you, I was seeing some of them comments, and it was just like, and you know what makes me read comments, because most times I don't read comments. Eric always reading comments. He always reading comments. I have other friends that read comments. Well, I can't read them because they made me mad. They made me so upset.
Yeah, that's why I unplug, like you said, that's why I unplug from social media, because I tend to read the comments. A lot of times I have to. There's certain stuff that I see that I'm like, I'm not reading the comments, because I already know I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah,
so it's just like, you know.
The comment that gets me is when I see people like, oh, that could never be me, and I think sometimes we get on this high horse, like you said, until it happened to you. Then it's like,
or she's so stupid, or she like they ain't never been in love before.
Right, exactly. Now you all on here acting like you ain't never been in love.
Yeah, love will make you see the worst person in somebody totally different. It's something totally different. So
I mean, this is like. It's like when it comes to words. I mean, there's been times where I've been in relationships where I've been slapped. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, I'm not about to put my hands. Now, if it's a life and death situation, okay, I understand. But I mean, I'm not that weak as a man for a woman to slap me. I mean, it was. I mean, my mama slapped me before, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with it, and it's just like I don't know. There's no excuse for that. And we just talking about this situation. There's no excuse in this world for that to happen. For you to run out in the towel,
Right.
and then not only it's bad enough you put your hands on her and throw her down, but then you kick her
Then you
like,
kept going.
Yeah, because what did I say? And this is probably, and I'm not. I felt like when I was watching it, and he had like kicked her, I felt like, okay, maybe he's gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? And I would have still felt like that's bad.
Right.
But I was just like, but then when you see the end when he pulling her by her hair, it's like, man, this dude is an animal.
But if you actually analyze the video and you look at her, you can tell it's been
happening
before.
Because she tried to play dead.
Yeah, because most of the time, if that's a person's first time getting, they gonna
get up.
Yeah,
they gonna get up
back.
Yeah,
but you can tell that she's used to like, oh well, let him hit me, and then you know what I'm saying? Because I'm used to, you know. What I'm saying?
And I'm gonna lay here because, and I saw that her husband, he wrote a statement about the video and about abuse and. Because her husband been on Diddy neck since day one, before we even knew she was getting abused. Yeah. But her husband been a Diddy neck, and now you know why. You know what I'm saying? 50 been a Diddy neck, but it got something to do with something else. And because that's their little personal beef.
Right.
It's over another woman
and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, so 50, peace. Okay, so Maryland teacher under investigation reassigned out of classroom after video shows student unbraiding hair and painting nails in class. A Maryland teacher is getting a lot of attention and criticism after posting a video of his students unbraiding his hair in a classroom. As of Wednesday, the video has been seen nearly 7 million times on the teacher's TikTok page alone, and it's been reposted all over. His name is Marquise White, said he is a middle school science teacher, and he confirms, stop reading that, but I'm pretty sure most people seen this video with teacher getting his hair unbraided because he was up in the schoolhouse like unbraiding his hair. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what we do, because I'm unconventional, and then we be so addicted to these cameras that we just like I just felt like it was, dude. I don't feel like he should be fired, first of all.
Right.
But I feel like this is a learning lesson. You know what I'm saying? It's called space. And I was reading some comments on my page when I posted this young lady was saying, people living up in their trauma. Y'all be living up in your trauma. Everything got to be about the S word. And he wasn't even. I don't think that was his intention.
Right, no.
I don't think that was his intention. I don't think that he was going to do anything with those girls. But there is a certain way you deal with things. First of all, them are young ladies. You don't know what they're going through at home.
Right.
You don't know who done did something to any of them before. And they probably like you.
Right.
Probably feel like, oh, my team. You know what I'm saying? They probably like, there are certain things like boundaries, dude.
Right.
Boundaries, certain things. And I feel like I see a lot of these comments, and it's like, maybe he is educating these, but dude, take that. Go find some grown woman to unbraid your hair. Take that outside of the classroom, because I was reading some of the comments, and they act like, you want to know? I've had really great teachers in my life, like Miss Smith, Miss Gore. I have like teachers that I remember, and I ain't never unbraided their hair. I ain't never. So for him, and he keep making videos or whatever because he got to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying, on TikTok and I'm not trying to diss him because he's a brother. You know what I'm saying, I'm not trying to diss him, but it's kind of like, dude, just understand that you made a mistake. You shouldn't lose your job. But this big deal that they try to make it seem like he should get his hair unbraided in the classroom. I don't remember not one day. Cause Miss Gore, that was a wig. So my teacher, we friends on Facebook, Mr. Catullo, never remember none of the females unbraiding his hair. He taught us Spanish. Good teacher. Don't remember hairs being unbraided. So for everybody, like, and then sometimes we feel so we want to be Black Power about everything. Like, don't nobody. Eric, have you ever got your hair braided? Have you ever had to unbraid? Okay. Have you ever had to unbraid one of your teachers' hair? How do y'all feel about it? Like, how do y'all feel about it?
So I hear you, and I'm gonna give you like a different perspective.
And I'm probably gonna disagree with
Right, but I'm gonna give you a different perspective. I think that teachers nowadays have a unique challenge in trying to connect with kids because they're battling. Like when we were in school, and I'm not making excuses because I do agree it's not appropriate that he was getting his hair unbraided in the classroom. But you remember when we were in school, we didn't have TikTok and all the social media stuff going on.
You're right. So it is harder to teach these children because their attention, because they're getting dumber, but they think they're getting smarter. Because the average grades now it used to be a C, but it's a D.
I saw the grades.
The grades is D's right now because they're getting so much information that they don't feel that they have to master anything. And what they're getting is like half information on things that they think they like. But go ahead, you was about to say something.
Well, nobody more perfect to talk about this other than me.
Why? Because
me being a school district employee for over 20 years.
So he's seen a lot of hair getting.
I've seen a lot of things, and what you are saying about the education and teachers, whatever, is correct. I noticed that when it comes to school district, a lot of emphasis is put on sports and extracurricular activities, arts, and all that stuff. If you look at some of the schools, like Solon, for an example, main focus, even though they're good at football or whatever, but their main focus is education. They could really, they could really care less about, sports or whatever. But you have a lot of these schools, like, I don't know if this is an inner city school or urban school, but you have like a lot of these schools where they put emphasis on sports. Sports come first. At my job, I do more for sports than I do for education. So, but
I think it is an inner city school. I think.
Okay, but even with the situation with him, I know you say he shouldn't have been fired, but being an employee, you have a code of conduct. I've known people that's been fired. I know a guy that got fired for letting a student off at a bus stop earlier than one stop before he got fired for that. So. Being a school district employee, we get every year we have to sign this thing. We have a code of conduct, especially when it comes to students. And we've always been told, like, if you want to be terminated, do anything with a student, or fighting or something or stealing. So, but it's just like, I know it looked innocent, but sometimes. Innocent looking situation could lead to something else.
And you want to know what's crazy? I wrote, and you probably seen I wrote it on Facebook. I wrote the road to hell was paved with good intentions, right? And then some young lady wrote. No, it was a guy. He was like, oh, you trying to say that he was trying to do something? I said no. I'm not saying that. I don't think that he was trying to do something. I feel like his intentions were good, but there's other things that could happen that could come from this.
But people his intentions might not have been that, but just like you said, one of them young girls could have liked him, and then say that they did like him, and they came on to him. And he turned them down. It's like, oh, well, he did something to me. And they're not going to investigate that too much. They're going to be like, they're going to take the student's word, and they're going to get rid of the teacher.
Like you always say, it's not until the end that people want to be like, oh, well, they should have, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not until the end when everything happens.
So you don't put yourself in that type of position. I've been working at the school district for 20-something years. I don't really, like, when it comes to, like, female students, I don't talk to students. I don't look at them. I don't talk to them. Because I'm not going to be on Action 19 News or nothing like that. No, I might, have some words of encouragement for the male students, talking to the male students, but I keep all interactions with students as less as possible. I've seen some stuff that makes me question, like, why would this person do this?
Right.
And it's just like, if you don't put yourself in that position in the first place, you don't have to worry about these allegations and everything in the second place. So.
And that comes with, like, I think, awareness and maturity. I think, like you said, and I think we all agree, is that I'm sure his intentions were pure. And he's like, I'm connecting with my students. We going to make a cute TikTok video. But it's just like, it comes down to, like you said, protocol, procedure, and awareness of this is probably not going to be a good look.
Let me tell you something. During the pandemic, a lot of cults was founded. A lot of cults was formed. And they had good intentions.
Right.
And then some of them in prison now. So good. And
I'm not gonna lie, when I seen that video, it looked kind of cultish.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought. Said this looks kind of cultish. But I mean, I feel like there's ways you could connect with your students.
Yeah.
But a lot of these teachers try to. It's like parents. Like, I'm not gonna be your little friend.
Right.
You know, and they
Right.
try to be their friend. It's even like it's like nowadays it's even laxed on how teachers dress, because we talk about this all the time at work. I talk about this with my coworkers, and it's like you see teachers coming there with Jordans and expensive. You know, like, and it's like a lot of times you can't tell who's the teacher and who's the student. So I told you
the other day I was at the barbershop and the dude came in that was a teacher, and one of I told you about this situation. It was some kids. That's why I wanted the kids get on my nerves. So he came in. He had on a suit, and we would go to the same barbershop. And it was one of them looked like he was 14. One of them looked like he was like 13. And then he had on a suit. One of the kids, because he looked young too, gonna ask him was he going to prom while he got a suit on.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Nah, I'm a teacher." Like, and he was like, "Plus I had an interview or whatever." And then I was just listening to the kids, and mind you, I'm my age. Yeah, I'm saying gonna say how old I am, but I'm my age, a very mature age. And these kids was talking. They was like cussing. Like trying to have a conversation with us, like, dude, I ignore them kids. Like, man, you ain't gonna talk to me. I'm a grown man. You ain't gonna talk to me like that. And then they looking like maybe he can't hear. I can't.
And honestly, a lot of the rules are lax nowadays, because I know we cussed in school, but when we saw an adult,
I knew, because I would cuss all day. As soon as I see an adult, I'd be like,
I've been at work sometimes, and I've heard students talk about their sexual escapades. And I'm like, oh my, like I can't.
I'm not trying to be off subject, but you don't think they do that because you look like you a student?
Well, I do look like I do look like a student, but it's just like it's the because I don't care. A lot of these school districts if you look at the from the school to prison pipeline, a lot of these school districts, they're in it for the money. That's why a lot of these kids don't get kicked out of school, because if kids are out of the school for a certain period of time, they don't get paid for them kids. So what better way, hey, I know you're cussing or whatever. I give you a couple warnings or whatever, but I'm not going to kick you. We used to get kicked out of school. We used to get detentions.
Right, yeah.
Anything verbally, we say anything crazy to the teacher, 3-day suspension or whatever. Now they don't do that. They try to keep the kids in school as much as possible because they want that money. They want that funding. And without the kids being in school, they don't get that funding. So that's why a lot of these school systems are the way they are.
They suck.
So,
yeah.
All right, so the next topic is Eric is a gentleman, not. But no, we're going to talk about DJ Akademiks. That's crazy because Eric was saying he was a gentleman. But not DJ Akademiks, but he was a gentleman. But DJ Akademiks has like some charges against him, that some essay charges and what else? Yeah, he got. You don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. He got some essay charges against him and R charges.
what essay?
No, essay is different than R.
Oh,
yeah, so essay is different than R. So he got some R charges against him.
It was something else too.
And it was something else.
I know a couple.
Defamation of character.
Okay.
Charges because of this young lady that they've been arguing for a while too.
But a couple months ago, the video came out. Allegedly. You could hear like her screaming in the background.
And
it was just it's another sick situation.
Yeah,
right?
And if anybody and you know what, and if anybody did this, I mean, who best to have done something like this than DJ Akademiks?
Yeah,
because he's a horrible person.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
No,
I don't even know him, but he does like troll and mess with people a lot, and he just like
women mostly.
Mainly women. He don't care. He don't care nothing about nobody's mental health. I mean, he cried when Saucy Santana. Like, how Saucy Santana gonna make you cry? Like, but then you arguing with women. You know what I'm saying? And he always want to go back to I'm Jamaican, and it's like, dude, I'm Jamaican. No, that doesn't allow you bad behavior.
Right. Yeah, and he also put. When they talked about it, not only did he, I don't even remember if he said he was innocent or whatever, but he put out a statement saying if he go down, he taking other people with him. So
yeah, which sound like you did it, but it's like I should get away with this, but it's like everybody else is doing it.
Right.
And it just
which is crazy.
Which is crazy. It just sound like a a male blogging Karen.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's going on with me. Like, it just sound weird. But go ahead, y'all.
My thing with him is, and I don't know a lot about him, but like you
It ain't nothing
said,
new.
right? But like you said, what I do know and what I see is that he's constantly like trolling women, and I always feel like, why don't you have that same energy for men?
The thing about DJ Akademiks is he looks like how he looks, right? Mm-hmm. And I think he's even surprised that he's in the position that he's, because he's making a lot of money, and then those insecurities. He's like a little short, little pudgy. He look like Tom and Jerry. He look like the little mouse. You know what I'm saying? So he's like dealing with, like, sometimes your physical makes you feel, no, seriously, your physical makes you feel like, how did I get here? You know what I'm saying? And he's still dealing with that, but he's like, but since I am here, I'm gonna make everybody feel bad about themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't really, you know what I'm saying? If he ever sees this video, he probably would destroy me, but because that's what he does, and he's good at it too.
You think you would beat him in fighting?
Huh? Oh, I definitely, definitely. Like, I don't think he could fight. Like, I think he's.
But I don't know, man. I just think in the entertainment, I mean, it's been going over years. It's this culture.
You see, the first thing he go back to, that's that black thinking, violence. Go ahead.
That's a simple question. That's not violence. I mean,
Fighting is violence. You know that, right?
I mean, you can have a celebrity match. You can put somebody up, have a charity event.
Okay, but I'm not a celebrity. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go to the extreme compound on the boxing ring and all that. So extreme. Yeah. But I don't know, man. It's just the culture. I don't know. It's just. I don't even say. Should I say it's a culture thing?
No.
No, I just.
I mean,
It's just bad behavior. It ain't culture. What was the last time you heard? Because
I'm talking about like entertainment.
No, it's bad behavior because everybody in entertainment ain't doing that to everybody.
Right.
It's bad behavior. Bad behavior.
Apologies.
Yeah, bad behavior on every level. Bad behavior on our level. Bad behavior on their level. It's just bad behavior. And some people, it's just that they have money and they have some type of prestige and they have some type of. Like where they feel like they have some type of privilege to get away with these things because it was times when they could.
Right, because for so long you see like they were, like you said, getting away with
stuff
it.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what changed a lot of stuff?
What?
Rodney King. You remember when Rodney King with the videotape of the police beating Rodney King, and then more videotapes of stuff started changing stuff. These cameras changed a lot and our lives. And you want to know what? Too, during the pandemic, even though people were terrible and horrible and just bad people and trying to find everything, but in the pandemic, a lot of people started becoming more in touch with mental health, and feeling and making sure, and then a lot of people, the Me Too movement was found, Black Lives Matter, and and a lot of those things, a lot of times it's a little much, but the road to hell was paved with good intentions. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, a lot of times it's good to have those things, but sometimes there were certain things that. But that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, I mean, what gets me is the enablers and the people that surround that don't speak up and say anything. That's what is just. I understand people have to make a living and everything.
Yeah. And sometimes they be scared too. Sometimes they be scared. Like they be scared. Like if you feel like you're gonna lose your life if you say certain things, some people gonna be quiet.
Right. Yeah.
All right. This is the final portion of the show.
Feature topic portion.
Yeah, feature topic. Go ahead, Eric.
So this episode we have 2 feature topics left. So our first topic is creativity lost in entertainment or fashion? Topic number 2. How do you feel about total police immunity? So I'm gonna put these 2 in the bowl. We can mix it. Hopefully you get something done because you would be the perfect person to talk about topic number 1. But that's not how it never works. So get ready for topic number 2.
No, you go. Quit looking. Which topic? Go ahead.
Nails on.
She see how you feel. Eric got his nails on. He took them off.
Topic number 1.
Woo! Man, because it's already been a bad episode.
I think y'all ghetto rigged that.
But you can open it and say 2 on there.
No, what I'm saying is that you showed her how you was folding them, but
why you gotta be ghetto rigged?
Dude. Go ahead.
So, topic is do you think creativity is lost in entertainment? And you could expand it to fashion, anything else that or you have anything,
For me?
Yeah,
No, I just think that creativity is not lost. I just feel like we're humans, right? And we've been here a long time, and all ideas are not that original.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Ideas are not that original, so it's kind of like, how many times can we do? Like, even like like most songs you listen to, right?
Yeah.
You realize that the song was made before. It's the same beat.
Yeah.
I don't think it's lost. I just think that, and plus we have like new things like, voiceover and what's that T-Pain with the auto tuning.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people don't sound like that. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's not totally lost, but it's just a different way of doing stuff.
I'll take it from the fashion angle. I think that creativity, like you said, isn't necessarily lost, but it can be suppressed because we live in a culture where a lot of us do what's popular or what looks cool. And so for me, and I was actually when I was younger made fun of, because I've always had this unique sense of fashion that wasn't necessarily cool or popular to other people. So they'd be like, oh, she dresses weird, or she looks weird. And I think I went through a time where I was kind of like, all right, they ain't really rocking with this, so let me go ahead and do what everybody else is doing. And like I suppressed that part of myself because I wanted to fit in. Yeah. Then when I got older, you just stop caring. You be like, I don't care what y'all think. Right. And now all of a sudden, be like, oh, that's fly. I ain't never seen anything like that. And it's just kind of like, I think that sometimes we aren't really encouraged to do different things. It's just kind of go with the status quo and what's popular. So we kind of suppress those parts of ourselves.
Yeah. I'm gonna be the op on this. I think creativity.
Well, being from Akron,
I think creativity in some aspects is lost, man. Because it's just like you have, like, if you look at social media, TikTok or whatever. It's like a lot of people that are creative or that do put time into stuff, they're not as recognized as somebody that could go in the store and smack somebody upside the head. So it's like it has people resorting to do
clickbaits.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect nobody, say stupid, but you have a lot of people doing stupid stuff in order to get popular, and you see a lot of times on social media that the people that do the most ridiculous stuff gets the most attention.
Right.
It's kind of like, and I ain't trying to diss this woman, but it's kind of like Krishan Rock is famous for what?
Yeah.
That one song she had that sound halfway decent was a song Blueface just put together, and it wasn't her sounding decent, it was the beat. I can't even remember the name of the song. Yeah. Like if you go, who else is like, what are you famous for?
Yeah.
It's a lot of what are you famous for people. And you know what started a lot of that? Reality TV.
Right.
And I'm about to say something, and I know people about to come for my head on this. Even movies like on Tubi, it's always the same scenario. Dude get out of jail for drugs, or he's the biggest drug dealer, and then his boy turned on him, and then he finds it's just like. And you look in fashion, like, man, they've been selling Jordan for how many? They've been selling Jordan.
The same ones. Like, they keep coming out with the same ones. And we still be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, and they keep upping the price. And it's just like, and they keep buying it or whatever. So, I mean, yeah, you have people that, do fresh and new ideas. And I know a lot of people going to say, oh, well, Adidas, Yeezy, which Yeezy would, Kanye put his name on it. He wasn't the designer of his shoes. There was people that designed his shoes, and he just put his name on it.
But Yeezys were a great idea, though.
And
they are the most comfortable shoes I've ever owned in my life.
Yeah, but like you said, you get something new and innovative, then it's like, oh well, let me copy that. Let me do that.
Look at it. The Yeezys that I have, what shoe copied? Crocs. I wear Crocs. What shoe? The Balenciaga. Well, actually,
Crocs. Crocs came. I think Crocs came out
before Yeezys. Yeah. But the Balenciaga shoes that I bought, they're the same as the Yeezys mixed with Crocs. Yeah. So there's like, there we go again. Yeah. Like I've got some Alexander McQueen shoes. They look like Jordans mixed with what's the Air Force Ones.
Yeah, and,
Like,
and-
but that goes back to my saying that we're humans, and how much original ideas can we have?
yeah, like I
Because what are
trying-
we supposed? But we can't have that many original ideas
I'm trying to think of. I can't think of it right now, but I see
because history gonna repeat itself.
I seen one of these fashion brands. They'll come up with this cup. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And just because they put a name on it, they'll sell this cup for $100. Just because it's their name on it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's just like, how is that creative? What did you create?
Did you see the how much was that? Was that like? It was like $4,000 or something like that. Don't give me the line. Allegedly, that Balenciaga tape bracelet.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, it's
it
just
was just like the big rolls of tape.
Yeah.
It was one of those, and it was like $4,000 for.
But how is that?
Let me Google it.
But how is that creative? That's
I thought it was a joke at first, and then I started seeing that.
It's been man, I don't want to, because I don't really pay attention to that much fashion, but it's like sometimes stuff come across and I'm like, man, I know
Right.
people like somebody could make a plastic trash. Did they have a plastic trash bag too, or something like that?
They
It's
had
just,
a lot of
it's
stuff,
but it's
right.
like it's not creative. It's just a simple. I think a lot of times those designers were like, well, let's do this.
Go for the
This is
shock
to see
value.
if it sells, and
Right.
then people just go here.
Okay, it's $3,300, and it's just this.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Would you wear that?
No. I would not.
I mean, I don't see how it's creative. Now, there are creative people out there, but I just feel like the creative people just don't get their, just due because it's not.
Sometimes
it's
I
either
feel like that.
it's not either popular or they just don't have the name to do it.
And you want to know where I see a lot of creativity, and I'll be like, but it's beginning to become a lost art. Mm-hmm. When I read books, writing. Yeah. There's some creative people that write some stuff out here, man.
Yeah.
Like the author that I talk about, Percival Everett. Like, I'm gonna read every last one of his books. I know Jasmine Ward used to be like my new favorite like author, and I've like read like most of her books. I think it's like one of her books I haven't read. But it's sometimes in writing, it's like people like, and you get yourself lost in these stories.
Yeah, but how close is his? Because he made a movie, American Fiction. How is American Fiction close to?
It's very close.
It's very,
very.
Yeah, because sometimes you have authors, they might come out with a creative book or whatever, but then they stray away from what's in the book because they don't feel like it's gonna sell in the movies. You know what I'm saying?
Just like what's the name of that? But I feel like that's why his book Trees didn't. He was like, it would have been a good movie, but I feel like they don't want to see that because that N word is used so much in that, and it's a lot about race. Yeah. It's a lot about race, and then the black people in that book are very smart, very intelligent, and then the white people are like Trump supporters.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just my take. I feel like creativity is kind of a lost art nowadays in a lot of things, and
I disagree.
It's just like, I don't know. It's like you say, it's a copycat society. A lot of people get frustrated. They're like, well, I'm tired of being creative, and I don't do it. So let me jump on the bandwagon and do something that I mean, even though it's beneath them, they'll do it because they're trying to get paid off of it or get recognition.
I mean, I don't totally disagree, but I kind of disagree. I just think that, and just like I said, it's a lot of stuff where we get so much mass amount of information that there are creative people. You just don't pay attention to that because the first thing we tend to see is what's negative.
Right, that's true.
So and you being like such a negative person, you only gonna see the negative things in the people that are not creative,
or even not so much. Even when people are creative. Like, even if you look at stuff on the internet, you'll see people in the comments that, try to discredit them or talk about. Like, I see it, it's so funny. Like, I hate to bring race into this. But it's so funny, like, I go on Instagram and I'll just read the comments and you think, like, black people be negative. Watch a concrete video. Watch a white guy do some concrete videos or some machining or something like that, and read the comments. They be
negative too.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? They be super. Because
it's human nature. It's human nature.
Like I seen a concrete video where a guy made some concrete and he stamped it to make it look like wood. And somebody was like, well, why would you do that? That is so ugly. Why, if you're just going to get a wood pattern, you might as well just use wood or whatever. So here's somebody being creative, doing something different, and it's just like they get talked down. You know what I'm saying?
Humans are horrible.
Yeah.
I remember I had stopped playing I had stopped playing Scrabble because I play Scrabble on my phone. But they changed Scrabble now where you don't have to look at the messages. You don't have to like be a part of the messages. I stopped playing because I got tired of them calling me the N word. Yes, I got tired of them
on the phone.
On Scrabble on your phone, the Scrabble app,
Like in the chat and stuff.
Yeah, in the chat. Wow. Or I remember I used to play Uno too, and I remember I was playing, and they was like, we have an N word playing too, and of course it was me. This was like, but this was before before you could cut off the chat. You know what I'm saying? This was before this pre-pandemic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I know these are educational games, so you don't really play that.
That's not his thing.
I still play Words with Friends.
Yeah, but it was like, dude, I stopped playing. Well, Uno not educational, but I stopped playing because I got tired of. I was like, all my life I had to fight.
So what would you say?
Log out like a punk.
Hey, I'd be like, your mammy.
Yeah, I used to log out like a punk. But yeah, as far as creativity, I feel like both of you guys are kind of right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm always right.
We all look at it, but I don't think that it's totally lost because if that's the case, we wouldn't be doing this show. If that's the case, we wouldn't be trying to make this movie.
This show ain't creative.
Well, it's 50% creative. But, yeah,
I'm a copycat.
Yeah, thank y'all for.
You have to be more.
We about to do that part. Yeah,
no, I'm just saying you have anything more.
Yes, creativity
part or whatever.
No, I would just say, just to kind of like wrap up the last piece is, I just encourage people to be themselves. You know, a lot of times it may not be popular or get the recognition that you want, but it's about like how you feel, do you. And I think the biggest thing for me, which really took me to the next level, is stop caring about what other people think, because people gonna always have something to say. Like I could get on a whole like.
Terrence to tell you, I don't give a damn what people think.
Like we would be in a situation, it's all the same popular opinion, and it'd be like going around the room. And I've been in a situation like that with him, and then everybody agrees something, and he be like, "Well, me personally."
And I don't be giving a damn what you like it or not.
And I don't care. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. I told you what my one friend said. So it was something that somebody wanted. So I was like, Eric, always negative about stuff. He always like. And then my friend was like, you need somebody like that, because that is not him being negative. That's him looking at it as far as you look at it from like a fabulous and everything is great, right. and it ain't like that. He looks at things realistically.
Right, you're a realist.
Yeah, he looks at things realistically. You look at things like what did he say? He said he look at things like everything's great.
I'm kind of that person.
Yeah.
I'm kind of that person.
He was like, it was one of my frat brothers. He said, but in the long run, what's gonna happen is you gonna be way more disappointed. Than the person who looked at it realistically.
That's a whole word. I had to learn to manage my expectations.
And he said, if you look at it like realistically, then you'll be even happier if it turns out good.
Right. You be like, oh, okay, cool.
And you have one smart friend, so whoever that friend is.
Oh, I blocked them after they said that. All right, we do want to thank you for coming out and doing the show with us. It was awesome, and we really enjoyed you.
And thank you for having me.
Any last words, and let the people know, are the Thought OPPS going to be on your podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Y'all definitely got to come on the podcast.
Yeah.
So make sure, again, that you tune in to Real Podcast, Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the Women's Podcast. And then we got when y'all coming on the show?
Hey, whatever you schedule.
Okay.
Whatever you schedule.
All right.
That'll be our first show.
Yeah, that'll be our first show. Well, it wouldn't be my first show.
Well, it'll be our
first show. No, it wouldn't be our first show. Dude, we just did the show with Podcast United.
Yeah, but it was other podcasters. I mean, like our first show.
Oh, first, like personal. Okay, it would be
I don't want to say together, like.
Whatever. But
thank y'all again for the opportunity.
I done did a whole bunch of podcasts in Cleveland. But yeah. But thank you again for coming out.
Appreciate it.
Peace.
Follow, share, like, and subscribe.